Hey, all Kate here from the Emerald Minecart and the Backrooms movie. Yeah, the Backrooms movie is it's a tad bit successful if you didn't know. But yeah, welcome to a unscripted video where I just talk about the effects of the Backrooms movie being successful. Obviously, I watched the Backrooms movie. In fact, I also did a review of the Backrooms movie if you want to go check that out. But yeah, the Backrooms movie, obviously very successful. It's been doing numbers in the box office. And of course, we all know the haha funny, famous meme that Kane Pixels is only 20 years old. Even I got on this meme trend with my own tweet that didn't do that much by the time I posted it. Maybe it's gone up in numbers, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm just going to be talking about like the release or the announcements of other online horror things, getting your own announcements of film adaptations. So yeah, but first, a bit on the Backrooms movie. Obviously, the Backrooms movie is an adaptation of Kane Pixels' Backrooms series, which to quickly talk about, or one of the reasons why people hate the movie is because it's not an adaptation of the stuff that other people have seen. Because here's the thing, Kane Pixels didn't create the Backrooms. He created a version of the Backrooms, but they didn't create the original Backrooms. The original Backrooms is, in my opinion, kind of like a newer version of the SCP Foundation, where it's like, oh, you can add on to it and stuff like that, which, it's funny how I mentioned the SCP Foundation, because it does come up in this video, but not right now, But, yeah, anyways, yeah, the Kane Pixels Backrooms movie, obviously based off of his series, which is his take on the Backrooms. Honestly, it's pretty good, although I will say the dinner table scene was a bit for me. Kind of, not really. It was, I don't know. But yeah, honestly, really did enjoy the Backrooms movie, and I am excited for the second Backrooms movie. Although, due to A24's recent talks about generative AI, part of me kind of feels like that the Backrooms 2 movie might get canceled. I honestly don't know the whole thing going on with A24 right now. All I hope is that they cancel the whole generative AI plans they have. So, yeah. But anyways, now to actually talk about the other online horror creations that are going to be getting movies soon. First off, Siren Head. Now, I remember when Siren Head first came out. If you don't know, Siren Head is made by the horror artist Trevor Henderson. He's one of my favorite horror artists, specifically online horror artists. And a little fun fact, he actually did art for the official Gravity Falls book as well, which is amazing. But anyways, Siren Head is created by Trevor Henderson, and he was very popular in the late 2010s. Sadly, Siren Head is a victim of content farms and a bunch of slop and crap like that, and there's also a bunch of like from what I've heard, there was like a issue where like a Chinese company took the copyright for Siren Head. I don't know with that, but yeah, Siren Head is one of my favorite modern horror creatures, especially since, like I mentioned, I really do like Trevor Henderson and his art. It's creepy, it's spooky, and out of all his creations, Siren Head is one of my favorites. Now, funnily enough, after, like, the Backrooms came out, Trevor Henderson actually made, like, a tweet on Twitter saying, like, oh, I would love to one day make a Siren Head movie. And it's like, yeah, that'd be cool too. Then later, it gets announced that a Siren Head movie is being made, which is awesome. But then it was also revealed who the director was, or is, which is Zach Kreger. You know, the guy who made Weapons and the upcoming Resident Evil movie, which has a certain group of people very upset about it, but that's not where this video is done. This video is not going to touch upon that. This video is going to stay far away from that, because obviously, Resident Evil isn't an internet horror creation, so yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, I wonder how different Resident Evil would be if it was an online horror creation. Anyways, getting back on topic, yeah, Zach Kreger is going to be directing the Siren Head movie. Now, okay, obviously I haven't fully sat down and watched one of his movies. I've only seen clips of Barbarian and Weapons, and I really want to see that Resident Evil movie he's making, and I really want to sit down and actually fully watch Weapons. But besides that, I'm honestly really excited for this, because, like, obviously, from what I've seen and heard, Zach Kreger is a really good director, and I would really like to sit down and actually watch Weapons, and I freaking can't wait for that Resident Evil movie. So, yeah, so seeing him direct the Siren Head movie is also pretty good. And also, you've probably seen, like, this poster going around. This isn't official, this is fan-made, from what I remember. Then, next up is the Mandela Catalog movie. Now, I've known that we would be getting the Mandela Catalog movie eventually, because a while ago, Alex kissed her. Okay. Little side tangent. Am I the only one who thinks Alex's name sounds like kissed her? I'm just saying. Kissed her. I'm just saying, it just sounds like that. But anyways, getting back on topic, yeah, I always knew that we would get a Mandela Catalog movie eventually, because, like I mentioned, Alex Kister made a post on his community page on YouTube about wanting to try and get a Mandela Catalog movie made. And there was updates about it recently, specifically when I was on vacation at the beach, and I was excited. I became even more excited when I discovered that Steven frickin' Spielberg is going to be working on it, which is insane, because obviously Steven Spielberg is one of the most important directors and one of the most famous directors, and he's directed a bunch of movies that are pretty freaking good. Like, you have Jaws, you have E.T., you have Ready Player One. Actually, that some people might disagree with me on that, but I generally do love Ready Player One, also because I am a crossover whore, so... but yeah, anyways, Steven Spielberg, amazing director, obviously very important, so to have someone that important take a look at Mandela Catalog and be like, I want to make a movie out of that. It's just amazing. Like, okay, like, imagine you make something, like, you make, like, a project online, it does well, and you want to make a movie adaptation of it. And you're, like, looking for directors, and then Steven Spielberg comes along, and it's like, hey, want to make a movie? Like, that is amazing, especially for, like, someone, like, a young creator. Like, okay, obviously, like, Alex Kister is in his 20s, and I too am in my 20s. The only difference is I'm not big enough to be able to work with Steven Spielberg. But one day, hopefully, if he's not dead by the time I'm famous enough. But anyways, yeah, honestly, I'm really excited for the Mandela Catalog movie, especially since Steven Spielberg is directing it, and also from what I've heard, it's not going to be a exact adaptation of the series. It's going to be like from my understanding, it's going to be like the Backrooms movie, where it's like, it takes place in the same world, but it's not an adaptation of the exact events. So we're probably not going to see Adam or Thatcher or any of the other human characters we've met along the twisted, scary road of Mandela Catalog. So, yeah, but anyways, I'm really excited for the Mandela Catalog movie. And now, finally, the movie announcement that caused me to make this video. So, the SCP Foundation, one of the older internet creations that it's a foundation that looks over all these dangerous entities. And here's the thing. I am a very, very casual SCP Foundation fan. So that means I don't completely know the lore of all of the SCPs, including my favorite ones. And also the fact that I haven't played any of the SCP games, which I really want to. But yeah, now, the reason why SCP was brought up in my mind again is because we're going to be getting an SCP Foundation film. which is amazing. But here's the thing. It's not only going to be an SCP Foundation film. No. It's a part of the VHS series. That's right. We are getting a VHS movie set in the SCP Foundation. Now, when I heard about this, I nearly creamed my pants, because here's the thing. I absolutely love the VHS series. Well, yes, I still need to watch the first 3 movies. I have watched the movies that came after, and I always knew that we would get a new VHS movie eventually. In fact, I kind of saw, since the recent VHS movie was Halloween themed, I thought the next one would be Christmas themed or something. But no, it's going to take place in the SCP Foundation. That is crazy. I don't know what is in the water at Hollywood, but whatever the Backrooms success did, it's clear that it's okay, look, this is obvious that when something becomes super popular, or a movie becomes super successful, there will be people up in Hollywood who are we need to recreate this immediately. I know that's something that will obviously happen, but it just feels so different with internet horror, though, because obviously we've had movie adaptations of internet horror stuff, and some of them haven't been that great. So, but besides that, it's ever since the Backrooms came out, it was very successful. We just had a quick release of boom, 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 new horror. Internet horror movie adaptation announcement here. New internet horror movie adaptation there. It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of overwhelmed stuff. Again, this video isn't scripted, so if I'm not making any sense, yeah, that's what happens when you don't script your videos. But besides that, oh my gosh, and I swear, if the next, this is specifically for analog horror. But if the next analog horror movie adaptation is Vita Carnis or the Walton Files, I will truly cream my pants to the point they will become unwearable. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Kate, that is disgusting. Well, I don't care. I am happy. I am excited. And also, I am happy. Specifically, I'm happy for not only the internet horror community, but also the creators for internet horror. Obviously, okay, not all of them are in their 20s, but most internet horror creators are quite young. So, seeing them get all these, big movie deals and stuff like that is just so amazing. I love it, and I hope that maybe one day, just one day, I too will be able to do this. I too, one day, will be able to make my own big blockbuster movie. But obviously it's going to take a while, because I'm not as popular as people like King Parsons and Alex Kister and any of the famous people or any of the people who wrote the more well-known SCP Foundation entries. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on all these announcements? Is there an adaptation of an internet horror series that you would like to see? And yeah, also don't forget to use code Emerald69 at the W checkout for 10% off your order. Like I mentioned in my previous video, I need to start plugging this more, so hopefully more people will use my code and W will pay me, maybe. But yeah, so that was it for this little unscripted video. Just need to get my excitement out for all the stuff being announced. But yeah, so anyways, that was it for this video. Make sure you all subscribe and like for more, and I'll see you all later. Peace out, home guards, and goodbye! Hello! It is I, Kate of T3 Productions, and in this special video, or segment of the video, I have a special announcement. And what could that announcement be? That's right, I have brand new merchandise! Again! So, you're probably curious, Kate, what is this brand new merchandise that you have? Well, I have shirts, hoodies, stickers, a duffel bag, and bucket pins. Yeah, look how exciting that is. And I also have some epic mouse pads that will totally increase your gaming capability. Obviously, all this stuff was designed by me, yours truly, so, you know, because of that, there's a chance you might get bullied for wearing some of this merch. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What matters is, all of this merch looks pretty freaking sick in my personal opinion because, you know, I designed it. So, yeah. So, go down in the link in the description where you can buy my heckin' eepin' oppin' epic merchandise.